Hi everyone. So I'm going to be starting my computer from scratch. I have a brand new account and I'm trying to reinstall everything that I need. So I thought I would go through the entire process of if you're just starting from scratch and how you would set up an Expo project. So I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code. I'll make another one for if there's other IDE, but for now I'm going to use Visual Studio Code as my IDE because that's kind of what I'm used to. I'm going to download for Mac and just wait for that to download. And of course you can do this for Windows as well. You just have to download the Windows version on a Windows computer. And I'm going to double click that. And there we go. That was super quick. And I'm just going to drag this over on the left side of the menu just so I always have that available. And I'm going to go to the Expo documentation, docs, and we're going to see, okay, if I just go back actually, there is this quick start. So I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of things that I need to install in my computer, but I guess I'll just go with what I can right now and then fix things along the way as we go. So I'm just going to make things a little bit bigger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that. Actually, what I'll do is first I will go to my desktop. So I'll do cd desktop and I'll paste that to create an Expo app. Okay, so it says npx not found. So I'm pretty sure we have to download Node. If I just go to ChatGPT, if you never know like what's happening, you can always go to ChatGPT, ask it what's going on. See Node.js. So if I type in node-v, so it can't find it, so I have to install Node. So I could do brew install Node. Okay, cannot find brew. Option B. Okay, cannot. Let's see if I just type in brew installation. Okay, install homebrew. So I'll copy that. I'll go to terminal on this account here. Check for sudo access. Okay. Sudo. Alright, so it looks like I have to go on my admin account and install this. That's okay. Let's see if I do this instead. So I need to install Xcode. Alright, so now that I'm back here at the Expo documentation in my developer resources account, I'm going to try this command now for npx create expo latest, create expo app at latest. Npx command not found. Alright, so let me see here. Maybe I need something else installed. Okay, let's try node-v, npm-v. Okay, let me try this again. Sudo Alright. Alright, so let's see if any of this installation worked now. Alright, not found yet. Alright, let me just go to brew. I gave myself admin access now, so hopefully this resolves the issue. Alright, so that's great, it installed it. And now I'll just install this Expo, so npx create expo app latest. Alright, so might need Node.js, download. And then I'll have to do this command, and then install. And then I will do a node-v, nice, nvm current, and npm-v, perfect. So now I can go back here, let's try this again. Alright, nice, now it's working. So type Y. Template, example. Okay, I see it. What is your named app? I'll say my app is fine. I want to see these templates that they have. Expo blank default tabs, TypeScript bare minimum. And what is this one? Ah, that's pretty nice. They have like pre-made templates you can download automatically. major version of npm. Okay, so I'll just run that command there. It's always best to update to the latest versions as soon as possible because there could be some major changes like you see there. Okay, and because I already installed it here on my desktop, I'm just gonna delete this. I'll just empty the trash right now. Empty. And I'll just reinstall it here. I'll say my app again. And I'll just move it over here so you guys could see. It's downloading on my desktop. Perfect. And then I need to install Xcode as well to get those desktop mobile devices. So I'll do Xcode. Installing Xcode and simulators. Okay, install Xcode. And then get this. So Xcode, sign in to download from App Store. Okay. Okay, so I just had to enter in my credentials there in order to get Xcode running. And I just had to add my credentials in order to get Xcode to be installed. And now I can wait for this to install. Xcode is really important because it's another either IDE editor or it could help run these devices on your computer, like different versions of iPhone simulators on your desktop, so you could run while you're debugging and coding the Expo app. Alright, so you can see here it's done, and I can just open this up. I'm gonna move this Xcode on the left there. Agree. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I download and install Mac OS 15.5, but also the iOS 18.5. Those are the two that I really only need. So download and install that. Okay, so it says what's new in Xcode. Okay, I'll continue. And it's just installing right there still. Okay, so it looks like I got this here started, Xcode, and I can create a new project, but I don't really want to do that because I want to create an Expo app here. I already have it on my desktop, so I'm just going to drag and drop it over here, say yes. I just dragged that My App into Visual Studio Code first, and I can see that I have my project set up. Xcode, I'm going to see here, I'm going to first exit that Xcode, exit this App Store, and let's move this for now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this I'm just going to run this project. So if I go here and I keep going to setup environment, iOS, okay, Expo Go, start development, npx expo start. So here I can go terminal, new terminal, npx expo start, and it says npx command not found, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, it's not added to my path. So let's see what I could do. Let's do node-v, not installed. Let me try brew install. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let's try that command. Restart the terminal, and then do that. Which node, which npm. Let me just exit Visual Studio Code here and restart it. New terminal, and I'll do node-v. Okay, let me try brew install again. Okay, it's not in my path. Okay, so I need to run some commands here. And I'll add that path right there. And save and exit, Control O, enter, Control X, apply changes, okay. Check if it works. Nice. And then node-v, doesn't have it yet. Okay, so I'll do brew install node. Alright, so now let's check if we have everything. Node-v, npm-v, npx-v. Perfect. Now it all seems to work there. Now, because I'm in my project, I'll just delete that terminal and I will just make a new terminal, and then I will run npx expo start. Expo start, and you can see it's starting up now. And this Xcode down here, I'm going to right click it and let's see, simulator, and just drag it over here. And you can see here that it is just starting up an iPhone 16 Plus right now, and we can change that if we want. With this simulator, if we right click, we can, here in devices, we can pick any device that we want to install. And we could see that is opening up, and I'm just going to, we're going to use iOS simulator, so I'll just hit I. And you can see here, it's trying to open in iOS 16 Plus here. I'll click allow. And remember, the app I'm creating is called my-app. We could see it here. It's just bundling, it just means that it is loading. And right over here we could see that it has started. I'm just going to exit that, and we got a nice fresh brand new install. So if I go to app, you can see here it has the tabs for that explore and index. Index is the home, explore is this other tab, and it's just nicely organized. And we got the layout, and we got nice folders here that are already set up, the components as well. So everything is pretty much a base template set up for us. And I'm going to show you now how we could run this on an Android as well. So in order for us to run an Android device, we need to be able to run, let's open up Android Studio. We need to install Android Studio first. So if we go Android Studio, this is important for Android devices, so we could download Android Studio. Okay, with, I believe mine's an Intel chip, and just wait for that to install. Alright, so once that's done, I'm just going to drag and drop Android Studio here into applications. Should be good. Okay. And now I'm going to open up Android Studio, and I'll save that in my toolbar as well. Just have to wait. Open. Some startup errors. Okay, so let me just go back here again, install, I'll say Apple chip this time. Maybe I need to install with Apple chip. Okay, so let me try running this now. I'm gonna drag and drop that over. See if that works. Alright. Let's open Android Studio. Perfect, so I got it here. It is here working. I'm just gonna minimize that so we could just focus on this part. I'm gonna click next, standard, next, accept, accept. Okay, I'll just finish it now. And you can see here, this is the normal pop-up screen when you start Android Studio. I'll show you, I'll exit it again. And then I'll just move it here. I'll click Android Studio. And when it first starts up, it should look like this now. And I'm gonna go to more actions. I'm gonna go Virtual Device Manager and allow. And you can see here that there could be some devices here, there might not be. I could click plus here in order to add a device. And I'm just gonna add a Pixel, Pixel 7. I think it should be okay. I'll click finish. And then I'll click the play button for Pixel 7. And I'm just going to open up my Visual Studio Code here again. Okay, so here, there we go. I'm just going to move this out of the way. And you can see that this Android device has started up now. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop this Control X, let's see, Option, let's see, Command X, Command C. Okay, I'm going to do Control C to stop it, and then I will npx expo start again. And what I'll do is open with Android, so I'll hit A on my keyboard, and you can see here Pixel 7, so it's able to locate this. And you can see here that there's this Android app, or this Expo app looking thing. Let me click on this circle here while it's loading, if it's able to. Okay, here, there's an Expo icon. This is going to be very important for the next setup we'll do on our actual phone. We're going to have to set up Expo Go. So this is what the Expo app looks like. I'll just go back to what we're trying to work with right now. It's just a little bit slow because it's installing right now. I just hit the square button, and I'm going to just want to go back to the app. Okay, let's just see. Just wait. Okay, there we go. It's just bundling. I just hit R. In Visual Studio Code, I just hit R so it reloads. So I'll just wait. Okay, there we go. So I'll just hit X right there. Let's open it back up again. just going to hit R. Okay, I'm just going to Control C one more time. npx expo start. Just let that load and hit A. I think I was clicking around too much before it was loading, so it caused a lot of issues. There we go. So same thing here, we got the start of our app, we got the home page, we got Explore, so we got two different tabs here. Now we have this Android device working as well with our Android Studio. So I wouldn't, like if we're already using the device manager with Android, might be easier just to use Android to edit the code. So I could just here in Welcome to Android Studio, I could open the folder. So on my desktop, that's where I have my app. I click on it, I'm going to open, and I'll say Trust Project. And you can see here that it's another IDE. It's just going to open up here. And it's the exact same setup with the files and folders on the left side. There's some pros and cons to using Visual Studio versus Android. It just really depends on what you're most comfortable with. Just let me know down in the comments if you want more videos using the Android Studio or Visual Studio. It really doesn't matter. I mean, if you're trying to code in one specific application, like specifically for iOS and specifically for Android, it will matter. But for right now, we won't worry about it because Expo is good for both Android and iOS. So I'm just going to, we should be able to run it here as well. Run configurations, Android app. Let me see here. So I'm just going to stop that. And then I'll try running this one more time here. And my app here. Alright, I'm just going to index. Okay, learn more, dismiss. Usually if there is, let's see if I could ask ChatGPT how to run Android app on Android Studio for Expo. Actually, we just have to run that command on the terminal. That's all we have to do. So I'm just going to go here, npx expo start. And right, because it's running here, I'll do Control C to end that. And I'll hit no. Let me try again, npx expo start. And I'll open in Android, so I'll hit A. Allow. There we go. So now we got it working in Android Studio. And same thing here. We got the two tabs, same layout. And now we can start using Android Studio. And because this is a combination of iOS and Android, I'm not 100% sure if this will work with Xcode. Let's try it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also try running this with Xcode. So here we got Xcode. I'm going to open existing project, desktop, my app, open. might not work. Let me see. Okay, failed to open. So here, failed to open. Okay. I think this is not going to work because it's not specific to just iOS devices. So I think that is the reason why there's going to be an error, because there's no play button here either. Yeah, so it's not going to work. Maybe if this was a Swift project, it would be different. But for now, I'm just going to leave it be. And one last thing is I'm going to show you how you can install Expo on your phone to run this application on your phone. So let me actually drag and drop the file back here. So we got our project in Visual Studio Code, and I plugged in my phone to my laptop using a Type-C cable. And if this message comes up on your phone, says trust this computer, always hit trust and trust. And then what I'm going to be doing is on my phone, I'm going to be swiping down to get that option menu, and there's going to be this thing for sharing your screen. So share screen on iOS device on Mac. So it's called AirPlay. If we look at images, I believe there should be AirPlay. So it should look like this, kind of like this rectangle shape thing. When you go down and it's this rectangle shape, you hit that, and once you enter that, your Mac laptop should show up in the listed devices. And if it does not, it means we have to configure some settings. So because I started from fresh from my computer, how to enable AirPlay on Mac. So let's see what it says here. Sure, both devices are on the same Wi-Fi. Click on Control Center icon, top right. Okay. System settings. System settings and general, airdrop and handoff. Okay. And turn on AirPlay receiver. Got it. Current user. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna put everyone for now, just because I want to make sure that this works. Alright. Now let's try that again. I'll go on my cell phone, I'll select the AirPlay. There we go, screen mirroring. And I'll select my MacBook. And I'll get this message on my other screen. It says accept or decline. I'll accept it. And it'll just tell me to put in a PIN to confirm. Confirmed. And I'm just going to move this to the other screen. Okay. So now we can see I have my Expo Go app, but I'm just going to escape for now. And what I want to do is here I would like to npx expo start, and I'm going to check here. I'm going to be using an iOS device, so it's a simulator, but let's see if I hit I, opening iOS. Okay, let me just close this device, quit. I'm going to quit this device. just because what I want to do is I want to make sure this runs with my actual iPhone. So I will do npx expo start again, and I will press I again. Okay, I know what's going on. So we cannot use the iOS simulator because that's just for desktops. We have to use this QR code here. So once we have Expo Go installed, I'll show you here. Since we have Expo Go installed here on our device, we want to go to our camera on our device, and then we will be scanning the QR code. So the QR code is right here when you scroll up. So I'm going to scan that QR code and open in Expo. And now if I share this on my screen, you can see here that I have this welcome message, same as before, home and explore. So I can't click with my laptop, but I can now navigate with my cell phone that's plugged in directly with my Apple device. And you can see here I'm clicking around, tapping on the screen, and it's opening these different tabs, navigating to the different tab. So that works. Perfect. So now we have 3 different ways to run our Expo application. We can use Visual Studio Code. We can use Android Studio here with our Android Studio with the Android phones, Visual Studio. We can use Visual Studio with Android or iOS, and also Android Studio. When you run your project here, you should be able to open it with iOS simulator as well. So let's go over here, and if I go device manager, I'm gonna have to create virtual device. Okay, so this one looks like it's just for Android Studio devices. That's okay, but for the Expo Go to run on our actual phone, make sure that you have a cable that's hardwired directly into your Mac computer, and then make sure you install that Expo Go app. So let me just write it here. It's the Expo Go app, and you can download that from the App Store for iOS. You install it, and then you use AirPlay to screen share, and then you're able to navigate around by clicking around the application. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, just let me know down in the chat box below, and I'll try to help you out. And if you have any other comments or suggestions on the next videos to make, just let me know as well. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. That lets me know that you guys are wanting more content and you like the content that I have created. Thank you.